We're joined by Phil Story, Head of Distribution for ITA Middle East. Phil, what are some of the big issues you see facing the retirement market at the moment?
Hi, Richard. I think for us, we've done a bit of research, obviously, preparing for this event today. And for us, you look at some of the stories that are out there at the moment around clients not understanding what they need to do for retirement. There's a survey recently that said 78% of people don't know what they need to do for retirement, which is quite scary. It means 4 out of 5 people don't know what they need to be saving, investing, and whatever else. So that's the first side. And the second thing is looking at where the markets are at the moment and the volatility in those markets. I think that also puts off some of those clients. Maybe that's why it's so high. And it's looking at different solutions, 21st century solutions to some of the problems that are out there at the moment. And I think from ITA's side of things, we want to be trying to offer something different that will provide a 21st century solution to these guys, because we don't want to be left behind. You look at markets in the past, whether that's the cameras with Kodak and obviously, and the change to digital, you get left behind. So at the end of the day, I think for us, we see the market changing and the big issue being that market changing and the client's needs changing. And I think from an insurance company or platform, you need to be able to adapt and evolve. If you don't, you know what happens.
You mentioned solutions there, but what are specifically at ITA, what are the solutions that you're offering at the moment to these sorts of issues?
Well, I think there's 2 parts to that question, if I may, Richard. First one is clients are looking more online. Everyone knows, you can go on your phone, you can go on your iPad. My kids, when I look at them, they've probably got 3 or 4 devices all around them at the same time, and the information flow is enormous. So if you're going to be online, if you're going to be doing these sorts of products, insurance products, investment products, you have to be online. You have to be doing things digitally nowadays and following through with that all the way through, from front end, the processing, the application, all the way to the back end and the servicing. You can't be having huge teams of administrators anymore. It's just not efficient. There's computer systems that can do that, IT systems that can do that. So that's the first side. The second thing is in the products that go behind that. You need to be able to offer things that are different to what's out there today. A lot of products have been around for 20, 30 years, maybe longer, some of them. And what we're trying to do is bring new products to the market that provide maybe the guarantees that clients are looking for nowadays. Because as we said earlier, the markets are very volatile. If I want to say I'm going to retire in 5 years' time, how do I know that I will definitely be able to achieve that goal? The only way you can do that is by guarantee. You can't say, well, on average, the markets have performed at 6%, 8%, whatever it is, because that's an average over a long time. 5 years, 10 years, the averages now are coming down and down. So you need to be realistic with those averages and say, right, can we achieve those? And the way that we've looked at doing it is to say, right, well, let's provide a guaranteed product that can give you that minimum return that you need, but also the upside. So if you can limit the downside for the client, or give them a minimum return, so a positive return, maybe 40% of everything they paid in, but also the upside, all of a sudden you've got something the clients go, okay, that's a bit different, and it makes sure that they achieve their goal. And I think that's, at the end of the day, why I do this job. We want to help our clients achieve their goals, which one of the main ones is obviously retirement.
And you mentioned there the guaranteed idea, but how would you explain that for an advisor trying to talk to their own client? How does this guarantee work?
Well, for us, there's many different products out there you can go get that provide different levels of guarantee. What we've done is we've created a product that tracks the S&P 500 index. Very simple, very diversified index. Everybody knows it. The constituents of that index, people know. Microsoft, Apple, Google, Exxon. They're names that clients understand. So that's the first thing. If a client understands it, okay, that's good. Then the guarantee you outsource. You give it to the global banks. At the end of the day, they're the ones that have the deep pockets that can provide these guarantees. And with all of the stress tests and everything else that's going on within the banking industry nowadays, touch wood, they're still very secure. And those guys are the ones that we would use for those outsourcing that guarantee. It's not something you can do internally nowadays and get a decent return. So best to outsource it and give it to the professionals to do that.
And what are you seeing on the horizon then for this year and next in terms of the outlook for the ITA Middle East group, if you like?
For us, it's been really interesting. We set up here just over a year ago, and the growth has been just phenomenal. We start small. We've been growing very quickly. The numbers we achieved last year were way ahead of what we'd predicted, and with the business plan we gave to the DFSA and to the bosses. So it's good news, and it's helped again with regards to this 21st century. We're very keen and happy with the systems we use and the way we work to be dealing in jurisdictions all around the Middle East, Africa, India, Eastern Europe now as well comes under the remit here. So we're developing those relationships with the brokerages and the IFAs in those marketplaces to provide them with solutions that maybe some of the other guys are now pulling back. And I think that's helped because literally, you hear of someone disappearing from that marketplace, and overnight we get half a dozen phone calls saying, please help. Can you come and provide solutions to our clients? Because at the end of the day, there's still clients there that need solutions, and we're there to try and provide those solutions for the IFAs. So I think that's probably one of the big things for us. We've seen phenomenal growth over the last year. The numbers for this year already excellent, and the bosses are very happy already. And there's still so much more growth to have because Middle East is growing. I know people are worried about the oil price, and yes, there's contracts around that. But for us, the Middle East isn't the only market. We're looking at Africa, India, and as I say, Eastern Europe. And for some of those markets, low oil price is good. So with that diversity of marketplaces for ITA, for the Middle East operation, means that just about whatever risks come through, we're, I suppose, still capable of growth within that region because it's all good at the end of the day somewhere, and you focus on that area.
Right. Well, Phil Storey, Head of Distribution for ITA Middle East, thanks very much.